Guys, today we're going to have a very quick tutorial on how to start your very first free game. So, there's a main menu. Click on free game. Now you see here, first of all, this is the map size. I would recommend for the first one, do a small one. This is the size of your map. There you go. It's still small, but it's just how it would look. It's either long or square. Square is good. These are how many towns you got. These are how many industries you got. Now, I would recommend keeping this one all the way down to the bottom. The higher up is, yeah, you get the point. The further up it is there, the more mountains there can be. So, for your first go, just keep away from the mountains. Having a mainland would be better. Otherwise, it's going to be very like that, and that means you're going to have lots of bridges and lots of things. That's going to be more difficult. So keep it to mainland. So keep this one to the top. Forest is okay. Islands, well, it depends, but you can. I'd say keep at least to the middle there somewhere. Right, then we got these three. Temperate. It's obviously what it looks like. You got then dry, and then tropical. Now this is what it will physically look like when you actually open up the game. Then we click next once you've chosen that, and then we have the type of engines you want. And if you click custom, you can Kim. Right. So you get onto this one. From here, if you've downloaded any mods, you can add those on, and the vehicles you can actually from here choose all if you wish. That's the one that's the one I really want to show you. But if you don't click custom, then you can choose one or the other. I tend to go for Europe, but that's just me. Now you got year. If this is your first go, my advice is start around 1950. Now, as the years go by in this game, new vehicles will come out. And around 1950, they're quite fast, and so it'll be reasonably simple to actually start off with. And obviously start on an easy mode. Now for this tutorial though, we are actually going to play a map. So to do that, you click on play map at the top. And well, this is my UK South Series map, which I've been playing. But for today, we're going to be playing the tutorial map, which I've just created about 5 minutes ago. Right, so this is our test map. I'll divide it into a couple of areas. Now on this area here, we're actually going to learn how to create our first passenger route. On here, we're going to create another passenger route, but learning how to get over a river. So you have to imagine this is all the way across. And on here is our first two industries, the two I'd recommend starting off with. Now, let's get to it. The first thing I would build here is actually going to buildings. So this is road, buildings. Then we need a depot. And we need to rotate this. Now I've set mine to delete and page down. You should look in your control to see what keys are set for you to actually do that, to actually rotate. Now interestingly, if you actually just press the key, it's quite large, but if you press shift, it's very little. So you can actually get quite a good angle if you want to. Now, there's also other two controls you can press. I've set mine to home and end, which breaks it up and takes it down again. Anyway, don't need to do that. That's the first thing we've done. But in buildings also, we are going to need, no, that's rail, haha, we need a bus stop. Now have a look at this. See, it goes white. Now basically, if it's white, people in the area are happy to walk to this bus stop. If it's not white, let's say if I move it down here, that area which is not white, they're not happy to. So you want to put the bus stop where the majority of people are actually happy to actually walk to. Now again, here, right in the middle. Honestly, right at the beginning of the game, these towns are so small, you can just plonk it right in the middle of the town, it's fine. Later on, you're probably going to have to put 3 or 4 around the town just to make sure you're covered. Next, we go into Line Manager. You click New Line, It's line 1. You can press edit and name it anything you want. Then you'll notice, click on there, and we can add stations. Now, so we just want to click on there, basically. There we go. And then we click on there. And there's our line, first line. Really simple. So all the line does is go from 1 to 2 to 1 to 2 to 1 to 2. And that's a passenger line. These ones you don't have to really worry about. These are for freight. Let's say we had 2 bus stops, one either side. The game will recognize that, and this is a terminal, so it's which bus stop. You'd have a 1 and a 2, for instance. It's exactly the same for platforms on a train. So if you have 5 platforms, this will show from 1 to 5, and then you can choose which one you want it to go on to. This one here is how long should they wait at this stop for. For passengers, always leave it on the top one, load if available. If you've got freight, probably load if full would be a good one to actually leave it on. This is, you can filter what you want from that bus stop. You can change the color. And if you are making them wait, you can decide how long they can wait for. So if we click away from there, we go back to our depot, which we just created, buy vehicles. Now it says all at the moment, but we want a passenger line. So we click passenger and we can say that's the only one. So let's buy some. We can either go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like this, or you can do it singly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. It's cost us 17,000. Everything you do is going to cost money. Now, if we click down here, we can actually have a look at the money. So far, we spent 103,000. That's on those 2 bus stops, the depot, and there we go. So vehicles, we spent 89. The roads, it says roads, but it's actually the depot which has cost us that much. Now, when you buy something, there's a cost to actually buy it, but there's also a cost to maintain it. Now, buildings, I believe, and roads, there'll be a set fee every month. But if you've got a vehicle of any type, I was going to say some type, but for any type, the longer you have those vehicles for, the more they cost each time. It gets to a point where they're really unviable to actually keep, and you really should actually then replace them because you just can't have a profit on them anymore. So we click on there. Now you can either, when you're setting line, let's say you've got multiple vehicles in here. This isn't the vehicles in this depot. You can either click here, and that's all of them, or you can click individual ones. Let's say you want to put 3 on one line and 2 on another. You could click them individually, but we want everything. Now this is the arrow to click on set line. Now we only have one line, it's the green one, line 1. So we click on there, and they are all now assigned to that. And if we press play, they will actually start rolling out. Now they're very slow, so we're going to actually speed up the game by 4. You'll notice a couple go that way. Now I know for a fact they're going to go all the way there and come back again. Here we go, someone's actually waiting. See, 1 passenger, and he's been picked up. Now that is a very long way all the way around here. So, what do? We could create a new road straight across. Now remember there's an ongoing cost on there, so I would wonder whether I'd really want to do this, but for this tutorial we're actually going to do it. Now you have 3 roads here, each one a width, and that's how many, so 2 cars I think can get on this one, 1 on that, each way, 1 each way, 2 each way, and I believe 3 each way on that one. But these are country roads we want. Same again, 1, 2, 3 each way. Now, obviously, the easiest way of doing it is zoom in a bit. So it says zoom in. Yeah, go on, zoom in. That's it. Right. So you click on there, so there's a dot, things. Boom, it's done it. Yay! But look at the cost. It's going to cost us 4 million to do that. Now, that isn't really viable. It's a great route. Don't get me wrong. It's a tunnel straight through. But we can't afford 4 million. So what we want to do is go over the least hilly part, which is going to be here. So what we do this. Just tiny little bits in the go. Whenever you dig in to the ground, or you actually go off the ground, because we can actually, if you press there, go up. See, it's 58 now. If I get rid of that, it's 2. So whenever you build something like that, I've gone a bit too far right here, but I can't be helped. Let's go there. Now, once again, if I just do that, you see it's building. It's going to cost us 122. So you need to do it so it doesn't cost too much. Just little bits at a time. There's the birds. Nice, aren't they? You'll notice it's a lot cheaper. Now, once we've done this, the route should automatically find swap 2 here. That's quite flat here, so I think you can make it slightly longer. There you go. Now, if we go off here, we go back into lines again, and yep, it's now changed from around here straight across because it's a much faster route. So the game would try and find the fastest route for you. Now, we want to do the same with these two. For here, we have to imagine this is a one long river. So let's look at the bridge. So again, we go to road. We go for the small road. And let's try it from here. How much does that cost? 2.3 million. Now, we can actually raise the middle of this bit of the bridge up because at the moment it will do it, but it's not very high, is it? So we do that by, I've set mine to page down is up like that, and delete is page down. Is actually down. Now, do you notice how it's green under there now? It's not now, but it is now. What that means is shipping can actually get under that bridge. So if this was a long river and you had a boat going down there, if it's green, it means they can actually get underneath. So you do want to raise it just a tad, but let's face it, we don't really want it to be here. It's 5 million. So, quite obviously, this is going to be the cheapest area to do it. So you raise up in the middle again. I've set my page down to make it go up. And you can make it go up as much as you want. And my delete to make it go down. You can actually make it go under the water if you want to. It's another option. Tunnel, it'll create a tunnel. There you go. But that's still expensive. See, it's green. We've just gone up. I think that's how it would be, straight. We've pressed up once. And boom, we've done it. Now, actually, at this point, let's have a quick look in settings. So if we get settings and controls. You'll notice the page down is construction 1. So that makes it go up. And construction 2 makes it go down. Oh, we see we're digging into things here. We don't want to do that. So let's move that back a bit. And also our town is over here. So let's move it round the road a little bit as well. You probably don't need to actually set this route up. It's just showing you how to really build the bridge, I think. To set the route up is the same as here. You put a, go back into buildings, we go into here. We find place where the majority of people are happy to actually walk to. Now, let's have a quick look at it before we do it. This is a passenger bus stop. You got a bus station where they can go into. That's a passenger one. Now, this is truck. You notice up here it will actually say what it is. That's for trucks. This is for industry. And that's for industry, but this is just for dropping off. Here you can pick up and drop off, and here you can only drop off. This is a technically a new thing on Transport Fever 2. It wasn't in Transport Fever 1. By accident, they left it in that you could actually drop off at normal bus stops on that game. But I don't know if that's still true on this one. So if you want to drop off in the middle of the city with an industry, it's that one to use. So yes, so for our passenger line, we would create one around here somewhere. You want to get as close to the road. Then we'd do the same here. Then you could either add a little road into here and use that depot, or we just create another one. It's probably cheaper to create another one. So we go back into lines. We go new line, click on there, click on there, and once again it'll go back and forth. You can actually add as many stations as you want in between. So if, let's say there was another town here, you could add another one in, or 2, 3. If your town is bigger, you could add another station in, maybe here or anywhere you wanted. And then it's just a matter of adding more trucks on, or buses. So let's get some vehicles. Passenger again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put them all, add, and it's now going to be line 2. Now we can see them all zooming out again. Remember, we're playing at 4 times speed. Now, my advice would be to, when you start the game, is to set up a few passenger routes up first. Have we got anything on here? Yes, so if you click on them, it actually says how many you've got on. You've got 3. What about you? And you've got 3. So they are hopefully going to make us money. And you can actually look at their finances. And look, they're starting to make some money. There we go. Right, so the next thing to look at is the basic industries. The 2 industries I would look to actually start off would be food and oil. Now, the first thing you need to find out is a city which actually accepts food. Now, it's got the bread sign on it. That means it will accept food. Not every town does. Now, each town can accept 2 things. So, if you click on it, this one is food and that one's machines. Now, I haven't set machines up on here. They're a little bit more complicated, but not too complicated. But food is very simple. A farm to a food processing part, and then to there. So you would set, let's do it. So go to road, go to buildings. We are gonna need, guess what? A depot. So that'll do. Then we need a truck station. Now, here's a tip. When it's the end, it, again, needs to stay white to stay in range. You'll notice now it's out of range. We want it to be in range, but we want to keep this as short as possible. So this time we're going to use... Actually, no, we're going to add this one in first. Now, this is in the middle, so it doesn't matter. We're actually just going to create this on one route, but you could actually create 2 routes. One route from here to here and route back, and another route from here to here. But what we're going to do is 1 to here, then it goes to here, and it goes all the way back to here again. So, I'm going to create this one. You can see the bread signs here, so you want to keep it where the bread signs are. It'll do. Now, you'll notice this is like a wheat sign. And you'll notice this has a wheat sign that says a bread sign here. So that creates that from that. And if you click on it, is 2 of those equal 1 of those. So it's exactly half. So if you give it 10 wheat, you get 5 bread. And you'll notice there's the bread sign there. So back to lines. New line. From here to here and to here. So 1, 2, 3, and then back to 1 again. And guess what we need to do? We need to add some vehicles in. But this time we need to add cargo vehicles in. We've only got 1 cargo vehicle, so we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Guess what? Click there to add them all. Click there, and we're in line 3. And once again, we can actually name these to actually be a bit more, make it a little bit easier to actually learn. Now, I was going to pause this for a second. I showed you this right at the beginning. So if we click on there, then we click on line 3, manage line. Doesn't matter how you get to this, but this one we're only picking up from. Now, right at the beginning, I mentioned this. We go from here. If you keep running the vehicles up and down, it's going to cost money. So it's better to make them wait here until they've actually got something and then let them go down. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to click on the middle one. So now they'll wait till, each one will wait till it's full, then it'll go down. So we've done that on the first. We don't need to do it on any of the others. So we've done it now. Press play. Now let's see if this actually kicks into life. Well, it says it has. Now this says it's got something in it. It does. Look, it already does. And there, but you can see I'm actually making it now. Because it's actually in range. I suppose we can pretend that they're just manually bringing it down there somehow. At the moment, transport 0 because we're not transporting anything. Now this would go up as we actually transport some. Right, so this will take it to this one. Now they're then going to go off and go zooming down, but this hasn't created anything yet. This doesn't actually have any wheat, so it can't. It says stored 0, so it can't actually make anything. In a moment, though, once it comes here, we're going to see this hopefully go up. And then hopefully it'll kick the production up. There we go, stored, consumption. I mean, it's doing something. Now, hopefully now it's put some bread in. So hopefully that one hasn't got any. Yeah, this one does though. See? 4. So this one's going to actually deliver our first lot of bread. Now this has got 3. Now, if you remember what we said, it takes 2 wheat for 1 bread. So we've already run out. So they haven't managed to actually completely do it. But at least we're going to get 7 in total. We've got 4 and 3. Right, and we're going to see the same thing on here. Now this one requires fuel. Now fuel requires oil. See, it says it. And oil requires 2 crude oil. So the barrels of oil. So that's always the input, and that's the output. And that's the input again, that's the output, and this is what it wants. Incidentally, this one could have had bread as well, so we could actually, later on, if we'd have wanted to, connect a road up to here and actually have extended delivery for food down if we wanted to. But the process of this is exactly the same. We will go, well, what should we add first? We're going to add this in first, just like last time. Boom, there we go. Now we're going to add one of these in. And we want it to actually... Now, to rotate this, is that the same keys as actually going up and down on the bridge? So if I went onto road and... it's exactly the same 2 keys to do that. So I think that's construction 1 and construction 2, isn't it? So yes. Right now, it doesn't matter what the rotation is, but later on, you're going to want to make it look nice. And especially, I suspect you're going to be playing some mods as well at some point. But that's another tutorial. Right, there are not that many. Do you know what I've done? What have I done? I put a bus stop in. So, well, at least it gets us to actually play with the there, but it's going to cost us money to do that. And that's me not thinking. Remember, that's a bus stop, and this is a truck stop. So she does remember for a while what you've put in. Oh, you'll notice there's some controls here as well. So you can actually add tram track. The length of the road to 30, you can make it a lot longer. You notice it's like the actual thing's a lot longer. You can have any platforms and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, so we'll take this one to here. Oops. I think we want one each side, don't we? So one each side. Yes, one each side's nice. And then we want to do this again. Where's our fuel? Now our fuel's all the way down here. Now something else you might want to do later on is actually start extending the roads around so you can get a loop rather than it coming back on itself. But remember, there's a maintenance fee for everything you actually build. Guess what we're going to do? We're going to go line. This is going to be line 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now on 1, not going to forget this time, we're going to make it wait again. Because we're on... If you were doing separate lines, if we were just going one line here and then we're doing a separate line here, on each one you're collecting from, you'd make it wait. But because we're only doing one long line, then you just put on the first one. And I think, as I mentioned before, you can have a maximum waiting. For me, it's 3 minutes. 3 minutes is okay. Right, so we need to add some trucks in again, just like last time. 5 vehicles, it's a cargo. And this can take everything. Later on, it won't be able to, and there'll be a list of actually what it can actually take. So it says all cargo. So later on, you have to decide which one out of a list is the right one for your cargo. But for now, on this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Select all again, click, and we're line 4 this time. Or should we actually rename it? Can we rename it here? Not on here, no. But we could go on here and rename it. So we can call it oil. There you go. We could rename that one to food. Now, renaming it's not going to do anything to the actual... Look at that. We could probably put more vehicles on here quite easily. So it's waiting. Now, you'll notice this little dot here. And funny enough, it's not on here. There is... On Transport Fee Route, you could actually upgrade oil and food and the actual... The first one in the line, you could actually upgrade, but you can't. This has a maximum of 400 now. It can actually output. So you basically... This one... To upgrade this past here, you probably have to get a second oil well in. So hopefully there's another oil well somewhere else. You have to feed another one into here as well. See, its production's going up. These go up. Now, to get this one to go over there, you need to get every one of them into this plus arrow. Now, if they're in here and they're all in this arrow, they all then go back down. Now, what this means is production. So I think at the moment it's up to 200, and this one I think it's probably 400. So this is how fast it actually will produce. Now, does anyone actually have anything? Yes, 2 of 4, which means the fuel can do it. So we're going to get some stored on here in a moment. See, there we go. We do. And this is 1 to 1, which is not too bad. There we go. We get industrious. Well, guys, that's pretty much it, though. This is what I advise you to start. So you want to ship some people about, that's the first thing I would do. Some towns which are quite close together. I probably wouldn't actually advise you to go across water if you can help it. Pick 2 towns which are quite close, not too hilly apart, not too many hills in between. If there's a nice road which you can get away with using, use that. If not, then try and pick the less hilly part first, and then put tiny bits. Build your road in tiny little bits at a time. And right now, we are actually making some money. Oh no, and we're losing. But you can see this is the cost of actually making things. But later on, you will start to make. But the thing is to just do it slowly and start on an easy level. Don't expect too much your first ever go. I remember my first go on the previous game. It was difficult, but it will come. So anyway, but if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask via the comments. But that's it for this video. If you liked it, please press the like button. If you want to see more, please subscribe. And thank you very much for watching. Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.